it's from a statistical standpoint, we do get a diverse group. So.
All right, so I'll ask another one because the audience has fallen asleep. Or maybe they really are concerned about their privacy being exposed by asking the question. I'm not completely surprised that there was such a disparity between the number of male respondents and female respondents, judging the population of web users and those who are sort of willing to click on unknown links and enter information. Do you think that actually has perhaps some underlying effect on the effectiveness and nature of privacy policies? Because there does appear to be some gender-based difference in willingness to provide that information, or is that just an incidental artifact?
I'm not sure exactly, but I would venture to say it might just be an incidental artifact, because as we've collected our data from survey to survey, we always run through the demographics to see if there is any effect there, and so far we've never found any effect. So there's never been a significant difference between what males as a whole say from what females as a whole say. Right.
Thank you. As you noted before, consumers on the whole have failing grades when it comes to responding properly to the policies and the agreements used online. I wanted to ask you briefly just what you make of the prototype that you showed us as it opposes the type of agreements that we encounter. I know personally I would love to see an agreement that stated everything that you projected up on the screen. That is, we will respect your policy, we will not disclose to any third party without your consent, and so on and so forth. More often we find a policy that says we will not disclose your personal information, except in those cases where we determine that it's in our best interest to disclose your personal information. Now, when it comes time to make the agreement there, we're left with the choice of either agreeing to your responsible conduct or going elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And we don't always have that opportunity. So, as you look back on that, do you think that some of these failing grades that we're receiving are better described in terms of a sense of helplessness than a sense of ignorance?
So that's a good point. That's a good point. So I'm not really sure what to say with respect to our particular survey with regard to that. But I could have misunderstood. Next survey. Good answer.
A question that might go as well towards a next survey, but given that a number of people have been trained to pay attention to whether a site is secure by looking for an icon of a padlock or something, has there been any thought of trying to extend a survey taking the taxonomy that you developed and being able to rate that so a user could register what their comfort level is across those 12 elements of your taxonomy, and if they browse a web page, that would show an icon that either says the website that they're browsing adheres to or bests their personal preferences, or would call attention to something, and they might be more inclined to act or read, whereas though the singular elements of the policy perhaps not meeting their personal expectations, if they could register that. Has there been thought of trying to take that taxonomy and develop a survey to see if users would pay more attention if there was something that showed that difference between what they register and what the site is proposing, which would require it to be in a more of a computable form?
Right, that's a very good question, and it is something that we have talked about. And I mentioned that some of these surveys and the taxonomy were things that we have done over a period of several years. And so we have a large group of people at NC State that have been working in these privacy areas. And it includes me in the College of Management, as well as Annie Anton in computer science, and some other people as well. And we have done some work that sort of goes in that direction, but that's more on the computing side of things. But that is definitely something that we have talked about and that we have started working on. When we created our taxonomy, we created it with several intentions in mind. And if on the particular slide that had the taxonomy, there were a couple of publications listed there because we found that it has been useful for things in requirements engineering, it's been useful for things in management, and we're looking toward things more in the area of machine-readable policies and things like that as well.